Coyote. This is the time where he can actually try and pick up the Ziggs and see how it'll pan out, especially with a playful Trickster just dodging a lot of these key ults. And the fact that, again, the Chum the Waters is just going to force Boom Esports to play, to pick up all of these Zonias, Hourglasses, and sort of push them into that enchant.
Definitely a lot of opportunity to beat that sort of soft counter onto how Twisted Fate is going to play this out. However, Boom Esports now playing on the Riven, Baron lane, and Thresh support. This is going to be a proactive team here for Boom Esports.
Yeah, Corki, you know, you can leave the Corki. He's fine. He has Valkyrie. He has the wave clear up against this 2v2 matchup. But never mind. It's going to be the brand over here for Coyote. He's not going to be playing that Galio, that usual utility to propel in. But at the same time, he can provide that big AP damage for the rest of the squad.
And yes, your eyes don't deceive you. That is, in fact, Owen switching from the marksman role now into the top lane, switching with Tufts. It's going to be a interesting shot call to make in the midst of a series, a knockout elimination match here. So this is a confidence play if I've ever seen one. We have seen other teams already do it here in the C Champs play, and I have to wonder, Infinity, I mean, is this the definition of insanity? Are they wild? Is this something that you'd imagine that they've rehearsed? It feels almost peculiar that you would invest scrim time towards saying, on the off chance that a particular champion goes this way, we're going to flex our roles.
I think it's a mix of everything, right? I think they have practiced this, and I think that is the reason why they switched it up. I think Owens is proficient into the top lane, so maybe what? Let's try it out against Boom or Divine Esports in this game number 2. Let's try and maybe confuse the enemy team and try to get the win.
Well, let's see what our casting team has to think about this one. We're going to throw it back to TJ and Omo for game number 2.
Well, I'll tell you what, Skimmy. They don't call it Wild Rift because we play boring here. Yeah, they're gonna switch top laners. That's why it's the Wild Rift.
Yeah, TJ, and this is not the first time we've seen this so far, the C Championships as well. I don't know if you guys recall, I'm trying to repress the memory as well, but yesterday in the LFD QWQ match, we saw the same thing. LFD swapped their Dragon laner with their Baron laner. It worked pretty well. They lost the game in the end, but they were both doing pretty decently individually, and that raises a lot of questions for me. How many teams are coming in with this role swap strat?
How many teams have that as a feather in their cap, if you will? Let's talk about the draft a little bit more as we head towards our game time here. You were really excited by some of the first picks that came out here. Obviously, we should talk about the Renekton in that top lane. We should also talk about Fly Arthur getting Twisted Fate, and this jungle matchup, and this mid matchup.
Everything here is exciting. We see the Thresh as well. I've been pretty vocal that Thresh is a bait pick. I think we'll see that here today as well, right? I think Hope One and Que are good enough on their individual champions that they will expose the Thresh pick for what it is, a bait. And I think that we will see Divine Esports still pull out a hit, right? I think what's really good here for Boom is not the role swap, but the fact that Fly Arthur is on a champion that can play make, that can determine the tempo of the game, set the tempo, set the rhythm for his team. That would be huge, I think.
Okay. It's game time for game number 2. Divine 1-0 up in this elimination match, lower bracket here. Boom Esports pull out all the stops, they lane swap, they pick Thresh. And what's more...
Oh, I jinxed it. I said they were good enough and he messes up the level 1 from the get-go.
What's more, they're winning with it.
We'll see, right? But I think the big thing...
He missed it. He landed the flay.
Well, but if you notice, the HP trade is still somehow even.
I'm not noticing that because I'm a Thresh fat
He's
boy.
just missing everything. My goodness, Square. Not his game. It's definitely not his game.
The other thing that I think we maybe haven't given enough credence is that Gov has played so incredibly for Boom Esports.
Yes. He has been a big part of their success. I definitely do agree with that. But with that said, I still think his champion sucks. And we will see if he proves me wrong, right? I hope he does. I think Boom have a very interesting team comp. A carry jungler enabled by a utility mid on Fly Arthur was how they had the same success as the last time against Divine Esports. Now, let's take a look at Len. This Olaf pick can do a lot of work here. Can wreak a lot of havoc. He's level 4.
And Boom Esports are trying to skirmish here. Good pull. Will land here. Big Flay as well. Gov full commits. Massive stun lands in the middle of this fight as Fly Arthur throws in his first gold card of the game, and they will land the kill. Xiaoqi trades out his life for Len, and the trades keep going in favor of Boom as they do the damage and walk away with a 2-for-1, knocking down a Hope 1 and Len during the opening fight of the game.
Yeah, big problem there for Divine Esports. CLT gets into your backline. He just chases you down, and Fly Arthur with the gold cards, with red cards doing so much. The big problem though is Square did not land his knockup yet again. This whole game, he's thrown 3 knockups. He's hit 0. And that's
really rough time to be playing a Rakan when you're not doing the thing that Rakan does, Oma.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing the other thing really well. He's dashing to Zaya pretty well, right? But you can't miss that one.
Yeah, but that's really the less important part of that. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still important, but that's the thing you do after you land the knockup.
Yeah, he's failing on the step 1, but he's doing great on that step 2. And they want to look for Fly Arthur. He has flash.
I don't want to take away from that because, you know, Oma, that's still a 50% success.
True.
Statistically.
But TJ, look at this discipline from Fly Arthur. He knows something is coming. He knows that Rakan is missing. He knows this is roam timing. Super smart, super respectful, and I give him a lot of props for that. I mean, it's always the little things, right?
Yeah, he was so careful down. Not taking any risks. I want to talk about that mid matchup. Obviously, Twisted Fate can't wait to get to level 5, start influencing these side lanes. We've had a couple of days of brands now. What's your vibe check on our Bernie boy?
Champ is strong, but it's not broken. It's not a busted champion. His numbers probably need to get tweaked a bit, but I think he is not overtuned. He's just a strong champion. There are counterplays to it. I don't think that Boom have the counterplays equipped right now. We hope gets a bit of a hook.
Go. Finds a good pull, forces the Featherstorm, and Quay's actually incredibly low. Here comes the Destiny, and Fly Arthur is going to find a 1-for-1 trade on the support. Hope 1 did find one. He'll be picked up as well. 2 more kills to Boom off of the Destiny TP to the bottom lane.
You saw the idea there from Hope 1. He wanted to hit the honey fruits so he could get health, survive the tower dive, but he misread the situation. If he autoed Fly Arthur a single time, he would have died. He would have gotten a kill credit. He would have gotten a double kill for himself. That's really unfortunate. And Quay getting the kill pickup with the Ignite onto Tufts is also far from ideal.
Drake is up here and Divine do the faster resets. They'll be contesting this and just trying to burn it. Xiaoqi and Tufts working their way up in the bottom side of this river. Over the wall comes Gub. He's committed to this fight. And oh dear, with the Valkyrie, Tufts finds some value back, but Xiaoqi is already gone. Fly Arthur's got to do the damage in this fight as Owen splits it, and he's got good control. Len cleans up the backside. Quay already gone, but Xiaoqi, Tufts, Gub all dead. So Fly Arthur and Owens need to find the damage by themselves, and it's just not happening. 4 kills to Divine. And they'll take the first dragon of the game.
The team fighting from Divine this series has just been so crisp. I'm running out of adjectives to describe how good their team fighting has been.
Just run through like 3. Just give me like 3 in a row.
Brilliant, crisp, magnificent.
Wow,
I think it's a
you
bit
really are running out, Oma.
I'm really running out, TJ. I'm just gonna resort to nice, great, cool. Like that's it. Their team fighting was really cool.
Very cool, Divine. Thank you.
CLT, I think he dropped at the start of the fight, right? And that was really good target selection from Divine. They stunned the one guy and they said, you know what, let's go all in. Let's blow up this guy, make it a 4v5. Though it looked sketchy at some points. He's gonna get this, I think. Oh, not quite. No Ragnarok. Oh, he has the Ragnarok. I think he could have gone. Playing it safe there.
Yeah, Len didn't have enough vision forward, and if he dies, they lose this Rift Herald.
Look at this. So good.
Gub steps forward, does get knocked up, drops the box, which does some damage to Divine, and Len mid-Ragnarok is easy to focus down. He's going to get caught in the Cataclysm. Oh dear, the Cataclysm turns into an absolute murder pit. And Fly Arthur just dumps damage in alongside Tufts. 2v2 now for this Rift Herald. Fly Arthur in a 1v2 as Coyote and Hope 1 do shut down his buddy. He'll pop the Destiny.
Oh no.
What a wild TP. Hope 1 just turns around. Fly Arthur will find the kill off of it. Gold card lands. Coyote misses on his engage. Chased by a gold card. Boom Esports win a fight, technically.
I'm actually really impressed and honestly a little surprised as well. Fly Arthur is so good. I don't know if he planned this, right? But the idea was I would pot above her. If she turns around, I have Herald speed buff. I'm going to catch them. Let's look at the team fight.
No, it was a very smart TP in the middle of the fight. And they will be rewarded for it. Rift Herald going over to Boom.
Yeah. And his little movements as well in that team fight, he sidestepped the Brand first skill so effortlessly at the perfect timing. It was really nice to watch. I think Fly Arthur, this man is playing out of his mind. 3-0 and 5. Even last game on the Ziggs, right? Where you have no initiative on the Ziggs, I noticed he was hitting a lot of key spells, did a lot of damage, and he really was a key player for his team. This time around, Coyote, though, he's really big as well. He needs to be the key team fighter, I would say damage source. Hope One is not really stepping up. We need to see more from him. Ooh, Owens. Owens messed up.
Yeah, just walks, flash over the wall. Does have Xiaoqi nearby. Can they turn this inside the Cataclysm? No. Xiaoqi just wants to get out of here. He's burning. He's gone.
Oh, he's
he will die. Fly Arthur's caught out by this as well. What started as one mistake turns into 3 kills for Divine.
And this is why people say, let's not try to bail out the lane that's already getting destroyed. You see CLT try to save Owens, you see Fly Arthur try to save CLT, and they end up all dying together as a team, right? You want to try to save your teammates, sometimes you're gonna die all together as a team, and that's exactly what we saw right there. Bit of an unfortunate situation. I do want to criticize Hope One a bit if we bring it back to that. I think he misplayed the last fight really badly, and Divine still came out on top. What's this?
Destiny, TP into the top side. This is a pretty easy kill. Fly Arthur stunned up. Ton X turns on the stun. Will be shut down.
Yep,
I have a minor heart attack, but Fly Arthur will convert the kill.
Yeah, that was a big misplay from Tan X. I think he had the wrong target selected right there, so he stunned the wrong person.
Let's talk through the current state of things. Divine leading by about 4,000 gold and growing as they chip away at the bottom turret here. And this will continue to impact the game as they just want to kind of steamroll from here, use their late game brand Xayah to win out. Boom Esports need to turn things round using their own mid-late game threats. You're going to be relying on Fly Arthur's TPs.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that.
Owens goes into the fight with the Cataclysm and opens things up. At the very back, there's a Valkyrie. Package dropped from tops, but they're all caught inside. A flash Featherstorm from Hope One. Double kill past Coyote as one of the most effective Featherstorms I've ever seen. Cleans up the team fight onto Boom.
Really, really good there from Hope One. That's exactly what he needed to do in the last team fight, and that's exactly why I criticized him. He had the feathers laid out. He didn't go for the pole flash. He was a bit hesitant. This time around, no hesitation whatsoever. Hope One pulls the trigger, goes for it, gets a huge setup for his team. Really brilliant stuff. I think that, Divine Esports as a whole, they're playing out of their minds in this team fight. This is what we wanted to see. I'm so excited we're getting to see it. The Guardian saves their recalls. Len's flash as well.
A lot of resources spent here to ruin Len's day. He will eventually go down. But it doesn't mean much on the map because the gold is passed back and then some down bottom. Surely not. Leonard, surely not.
They're desperate. This is desperation. They cannot do this. Yep, it's completely a desperation play. The idea is the same as you, TJ. They say, we've spent so many resources, we need to get something out of this. What are we going to get? And they defaulted to Baron. That's obviously not an option here. They will just resort to Baron.
Quay does find a knock-up in the middle of the map, gets flayed back on the retreat, but Gov is very low.
They killed Gov!
As is Tufts. He's going to be picked up. Oh, 2 kills just off the Brand Pyroclasm, and it's going to keep getting worse for Boom as they need to run away. Coyote, he's arrived at late game Brand, and all of this stuff you normally rely on, you cannot stand near your teammates anymore. Tan X, flash over the wall, easy execution. He's got one more. Owens running behind the turret is not safe. And Tan's got 2. Xiaoqi cannot finish this kill as he chases forward. Quay saves his pet crocodile.
It's so magnificent. Divine, they're playing so well. They're playing like one unit. They're playing like one well-oiled machine. If you look at like that whole Yakety sex we had going on, Ton X, together with Coyote, sync their spells at a perfect timing to kill Fly Arthur. Coyote goes to Baron to do DPS, and Quare comes over to save Ton X. It's so brilliant. They're just interchanging places so smoothly. They're team fighting so well. And Divine Esports, I am so impressed by this team right now.
Of landing a hook there onto Len, and really not being able to do anything with it.
Trash is the bad
something on his
champion,
fishing
TJ.
line, and he's like, there's that great Viking on the other end of this. I don't know what I do.
If you fly in on that, he's gonna pop Ragnarok. You can't even flay him. And Ton X, he does not care about Owens one bit.
Yeah, here's the push in. Turret will melt. And boom, yet again, have a word in the mid-game. And that's kind of all here.
Yep.
As Divine accelerate through their team fighting.
Look at that. A bit of a misclick from Coyote. Gonna pop the Jonius. Gov has to flash out though. Ton X might die.
Yeah, Gov manages to turn the tables, baiting in the play from Ton X. Turret will fall. It's another great, excellent movement in the fight from Hope One as the Blade Cooler finds one kill. He proto-belts away and turns back in. A complete ace. And Boom Esports are broken again in a team fight. This should be the game to Divine. They've got 20 seconds to bring in this wave, and they're up 2-0 in this series.
It's an absolute demolition here for Divine Esports. This is what we expected to see on day one.